Ron, you've been interested in productivity for quite a while. Can you tell us how this interest started?
I've been interested in line balancing for quite a while. And so when I would tour factories as part of my job, I would usually go out and look at the component placement machines to see that they were taking the same amount of time. And as you're not surprised, I found that very seldom were the lines balanced. That was
Right.
one thing. But often when I would go out to see this on the lines weren't running. And it just caused me to be curious, how often were lines running?
Was there a particular event that brought this interest to a head?
Yeah, somewhat later in time, I was asked as part of my job to set up a tour for some new executive that really didn't know much about electronic assembly, so we wanted to show them an assembly line running. So I got with a company I knew that had 6 assembly lines, and we took the executives there. We arrived at about 10 and wanted to walk out on the shop floor to show them an assembly line, and none of the 6 were running. So one of the managers came out and said, well, why don't we sort of take a break, we'll go into a little conference room and we'll tell you other things about our company. So 45 minutes later, we came back, and I'm sure you could guess, none of the lines were running.
Mm-hmm.
So we then decided to go for lunch. It's now about noon time. We went for an hour lunch and came back hoping to see a line running at 1 in the afternoon. And none of the lines were running. So we left the facility with none of our executives having seen a line running, and we were there over 3 hours. So it just caused me to ask myself the question, how common is it that lines don't have good uptime?
So how strong an effect does productivity have on profits?
As you're probably aware, I've developed some cost estimating software called Profit Pro, and I use this to show that, say on an assembly line that's one that's pretty productive, it's producing about, say, $32 million of product a year. Let's say we improve the productivity just 1%. So if the line is producing X number of circuit boards a year, we make it so we improve the productivity so it goes to X plus 1%. So most people would think right off the bat, well, that's going to improve profit about 1% because I've got 1% more to sell. But it actually improves profits by about 3% because we have the rent for the facility, we have the pay to the workers, and the power coming into the company. All of those are constant, so we're producing more product with constant cost, and it actually makes the profit go up not 1%, but 3%.
In light of this, how should assemblers work with their materials and equipment suppliers, Ron?
Well, one of the things you should ask your materials and equipment supplier, since both of these can affect productivity, is if I buy your product, how will it affect my productivity?
Where can engineers find additional information on productivity?
Well, as you're aware, I have a blog at Indium Corporation that they can look at where I often discuss these topics. But also if they have a particular question, they can just send me an email at rlasky@indium.com.
Excellent. Ron, thank you very, very much.